2012, the National Library of Wales received a gift in memory of Eluned Davies, a lady who had been heavily involved in promoting crafts throughout the Swansea area during her lifetime. The money was to be used to promote different aspects of craft work in various projects to be carried out throughout the length and breadth of Wales. The National Library of Wales agreed to put in place a programme of workshops and projects that would be carried out in 6 different regions throughout Wales, each one focusing on a specific craft and giving members of the public in that given area the opportunity to learn about and use those crafts in workshops that will be provided free of charge. Eluned Davies had been appointed as the first principal of Bryn House Community Centre in Swansea, and due to that connection it was agreed that the first project would be based in Swansea, involving staff and students of Bryn House.
We provide adult education classes and our students have been involved with this project. So we've been working closely with the National Library of Wales, and it was through the bequest of Eluned Davies, who is the first principal here at Bryn House. So we had a really nice tie-in there. And she was very keen on arts and crafts and was known to be a very experienced needlewoman.
The workshops were to be led by 2 tutors working for Bryn House Community Centre, Beverly Bowsher and Margaret Jeffries.
First of all, we were invited to Bryn House for the anticipated project to be explained. Margaret and I, as a result of that, went up to Aberystwyth, to the National Library, looked at a lot of things up there, and then decided that we'd take an 1879 map of Havard as our design source, mostly because Swansea was the centre of the copper industry and it was based on Havard.
Copper, having so much history in Swansea in the 1800s, seemed a natural source to use. The actual colour of copper is so inspiring. It's such a beautiful colour to work with, and so many materials. We have silks, bead-ins, cording. It's been really fascinating to work with such beautiful materials of that colour.
One of the things that inspired us about copper was we could use some techniques that used to be used in the Middle Ages. We could use leather, and we could use modern paint and dyes, which are still using copper today.
Students then discussed certain aspects of it they would like to work on. They were working within a structure, but their own creativity was allowed to flourish.
The students they've taken out what we've asked them to do, and then they've sort of developed their own ideas from that, and the standard of the work that they've produced has been really, really good. We're really pleased with that. Some of the advantages of the funding are that we've been able to access materials, perhaps aren't everyday materials. We've used the copper threads to do the laid work. The silk was very expensive. We've got a beautiful linen background, which aren't everyday sort of fabrics and threads that you'd use. And that has been thanks to the funding that we've had.
Well, I think I've enjoyed meeting up with people on a regular basis and doing quite a number of techniques that I haven't done before, and just feeling that it was a very worthwhile project.
I've gained so much. I'm quite inexperienced with embroidery, although I've got experience in sewing, and the techniques that I've been introduced to are incredible. Tried at least 7 different techniques from coming here, and watching other people work and the ideas that they come up with, I've managed to kind of take a lot of ideas from them and incorporate that into my own work, and I wouldn't have had that opportunity otherwise.
It's been an amazing experience. I have done quite a bit of embroidery before, but I've never done a group work project, And it's been amazing working with such experienced embroiderers and tutors. And I think doing something for the National Library of Wales just gives it that extra edge, really. And I'll be very, very sorry when it finishes.
With the funding we've not had to worry about the cost of materials, so we've had some fantastic materials to work with. We've had leather and the pearl, which is kind of like a metal spring almost. Without the funding we wouldn't have been able to have such extensive materials, and then we would have been limited in the techniques that we could have used.
I was fortunate enough to have known Miss Davies when she was principal here. I came to dressmaking classes. I think this project will have fulfilled any wishes she might have had about what was done in her memory. Thoroughly approved of it. And I can see her sort of up there looking down on it with great satisfaction. And I can just see her saying, "Well done, you." And that was praise beyond praise for Miss Davies to say that to you.
It's been wonderful to be part of this project and to see how all of the ladies have developed over the course of the project. The opportunity, I think, to see their work on display in the National Library of Wales, in Swansea Museum, where it'll be part of the Copperopolis exhibition there. I think that is just fantastic reward for all of the hard work that they've put into it.
The aim of the project was to give individuals the opportunity to work with skilled, experienced craftspeople like Beverly and Margaret, and to learn specific techniques about the field and craft of embroidery.
4 hours goes like 10 minutes. But at the end of the day it's worth it, because you end up with something that's unique and people have learnt things, and hopefully it's going to be on show for a long time.
Judging from the work that's been produced and having spoken to the leaders, the tutors who led these workshops, it's obvious that this particular project has more than met its aim.